What's up, y'all? I'm sure a lot of you are excited about gardening this year, and this video is going to be all about the 6 mistakes that beginner gardeners make and how to avoid them. Let's do this. What's up, y'all? My name is Dirk. Welcome back to my channel. If you've never been here before, this channel is all about tips and tools so that your garden and homestead can thrive. All right, y'all, so let's jump into those 6 mistakes that beginner gardeners make and how to avoid them. Number 1 being poor soil. Guys, I've done multiple videos on how to build your soil so that you have a productive garden. I'll put the links up above. However, you can't just go dig a hole in your backyard and expect a plant to survive. The 3 macronutrients that plants need: NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Those are the top 3 macronutrients that your plant is going to need, and more than likely you're going to need to amend your soil. If there's one piece of advice I would give you, it's add organic matter. Some of the top soil scientists would suggest continuing to add organic matter to your garden beds. The number 2 mistake that people make is planting where there's not enough sunlight. Wherever you build your garden, it's going to need 6 to 8 hours of sunlight. Things like tomatoes and peppers and a lot of the popular crops that gardeners grow, they're just going to need a lot of sun. And so if you don't have enough sun, the crop's just not going to grow well, and it's not going to give you a great harvest. There are some crops that you can grow in the shade, but specifically some of those mainline crops that people grow, you're going to need 6 to 8 hours of sunlight. The number 3 mistake that beginner gardeners make is planting too many crops. Man, I remember the first year I planted a garden, I was so ambitious. I got so excited. You get the kind of cabin fever. And in the wintertime, like it is now, it's January, it's freaking cold out. And I've got the cabin fever. I'm excited to get out and plant my garden and start seeds. However, y'all slow down. My suggestion to you would be pick 5 crops that you're wanting to grow, research them, figure out how to grow them, research, pest pressure, things like that, and grow those 5 crops and master them. And then the next year, add a few more crops. I've done that, and it's been really helpful for me. All right, so number 4 mistake that beginner gardeners make is planting too early. I even did this last year. I understand you get excited about getting those crops in the ground, and what happens is you get a warm front that comes in maybe a week before your average last frost date. You put the plants in the ground, and then a cold front comes in behind it, and you get one of those final frosts, and it kills your plants. There's one piece of advice that I would tell you to listen to is do not plant your crops until that last frost date. You can look that up on Google, your average last frost date in your area. And so just don't make this mistake. I've made it before and it really sucks. The 5th mistake that beginner gardeners make is crowding your plants. Maybe you have a small area and you put too many plants in a small section, and what's going to happen is those plants are going to compete for nutrients, they're going to compete for space, and they're just not going to produce as well for you. So thin them out. Either thin them out or don't plant as many plants in one specific area. Number 6 mistake, man, this is another big one: overwatering. Man, I'm telling you, so many people kill plants because they just drown their plant in water. And that's a very common mistake that new gardeners will make. And so one thing that I do is I'll stick my finger in the soil all the way to my knuckle. And if there's moisture that I can feel at the tip of my finger, then you probably don't need to water that plant. If you stick it in there and everything's really dry, it's time to water. That's generally how I measure if the plant needs some moisture. And so, guys, just don't overwater them. When you first transplant and put them in the ground, yes, you need to give them a good watering, which is called watering them in upon transplant. But other than that, you don't need to just douse your plants constantly with water. You will kill them, you'll drown them. So anyways, that is my list of 6 mistakes. There are others, but I felt like that was a good top 6. If you found this video helpful, please click that like and subscribe button. I put out content every single week where my goal is to help you, your garden, and your homestead thrive. I hope y'all are stoked about this 2022 gardening season. I know I am, and I look forward to seeing y'all on the next video.